Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita, as it is, chapter 5, Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness, text number 18. Vedya Vinaya Sampane. Our video is on strike. We ran out of verses. Why is it on the board there? It's too complicated. Anyhow, we'll go on. Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmanigavi Hastani Shunitaiva Svapakecha Pandita Samadarshanaha Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmani Gavi Hastani Shunitaiva Svapakecha Pandita Samadarshanaha Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmani Gavi Hastani Kakecha Darshana Vidya Vinaya Sampane Gavi Hastani Sunitaiva Svapakecha Darshana Jenske Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmani Gavi Hastani Shunitaiva Svapakecha Pandita Samadarshana Vidya with education, Vinaya with gentleness, Sampane fully equipped, Brahmane in the Brahmana, Gavi in the cow, Hastini in the elephant, Shuni in the dog, Cha and Eva certainly, Swapake in the dog eater, the outcast, Cha respectively, Pandita, those who are wise, Samadarshanaha, who see with equal vision. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. Please repeat. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater, outcast. Purport. Krishna conscious person does not make any distinction between species or castes. The Brahmana and the outcast may be different from a social point of view, or a cow, or a dog, a cow, and an elephant may be different from the point of view of species. But these differences of body are meaningless from the viewpoint of a learned transcendentalist. This is due to their relationship to the Supreme. The Supreme Lord, by His plenary portion as Paramatma, is present in everyone's heart. Such an understanding of the Supreme is real knowledge. As far as the bodies are concerned in different castes or different species of life, the Lord is equally kind to everyone because He treats every living being as a friend, yet maintains Himself as Paramatma regardless of the circumstances of the living entities. The Lord as Paramatma is present both and the outcast in the Brahmana, although the body of a Brahmana and that of an outcast are not the same. The bodies of material productions of different modes of material nature, but the soul and the supersoul within the body are of the same quality. The similarity in the quality of the soul and the supersoul, however, does not make them equal in quantity. The individual soul is present only in that particular body, whereas the Paramatma is present in each and every body. Krishna conscious person has full knowledge of this, and therefore he is truly learned and has equal vision. The similar characteristics of the soul and supersoul are that they are both conscious, eternal, and blissful. The difference is that the individual soul is conscious within the limited jurisdiction of the body, whereas the supersoul is conscious of all bodies. The supersoul is present in all bodies without distinction. Vidya Vinaya Sampani Brahmani Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Svapake Cha Pandita Samadarshanaha. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with an equal vision the learned and gentle Brahman, the cow, the elephant, the dog, and the dog eater. Namo Vishnu Vidaya Krishna Prasthaya Buddhaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vicharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskadyade Satarane. This chapter is called Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness, which means that by performing one's duty, karma, in Krishna consciousness, then one is able to come to the platform. At the end of this chapter, it says, Shanti, peacefulness. That without doing it, in other words, there is knowledge and then there's activities. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmaradyujecha mayarpitam manobudhira mame vaishatya samshayaha. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carrying out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your mind and intelligence fixed in me, and everything engaged in me, you'll attain to me without doubt. So we need both vision, and then we also need activities on the basis of that vision. Activities alone will not save us, and vision alone will not save us. It's a combination of vision and practical application of that vision that brings one to the actual realization of Krishna consciousness. So it begins with patience, patiently hearing. Rupa Goswami said, Utsaha Nischaya Dharya. Patiently hearing, and then applying with confidence. Dharya. Utsaha Nischaya Dharya. Nischaya means confidence, and Dharya is patience. Is that right? So we need patience in order to hear. Just like we're sitting here, I'm trying to speak, and we have to have some patience, otherwise we won't be able to hear anything. And what is that patience based on? Patience is that we're eternal. If we're eternal, we have a lot of time to hear. In fact, we have all eternity to hear. Even when we go to the spiritual world, that's what we're going to be doing, is hearing. So we might as well get used to it. And even here, that's all we've been doing is listening. The question is who we're listening to. And unless when it's patient, unless the message is about something eternal, then everything we're listening to generally causes impatience. Modern society is not meant to make people patient. It's that the iPhone 12 is coming out soon. And everyone has to get ready for it. Get ready, it's coming out, it's coming out. Save up. But I don't have enough money, I got fired from my job, I don't have enough. No, it's all right. This iPhone is special, you can eat it. It comes in 5 flavors: strawberry, chocolate, vanilla. It may be an expensive ice cream cone, but it's worth it. If you don't eat it, you can use it. So the whole thing is make one impatient, always in anxiety. When is it's finally going to happen? When am I going to have the perfect day? The bells are ringing, the angels are blowing on their horns, the flowers are showering down from the heaven. When is that day? Of course, the devotees, there's also hankering. Kabi habi bolo se dinar more. When will that day be mine? But it's a little different. My offense is ceasing, taste for the name increasing, according to Chutananda Maharaj's translation. When in my heart will your mercy shine? When will that day be mine? So we're also anxious. We're anxious to enter into a platform of eternity, where the actual progress is love. As we can see here, everyone is thinking progress is technology. I remember when I was probably 7 years old, they had the World's Fair in New York, and it was progress through electricity. And they had these exhibits, which would probably be like not very appreciated nowadays, but then it was appreciated. Although in my 7-year-old mind, I couldn't appreciate too much. All I knew is that they had a light bulb or something. But in any case, they're promising through technology happiness. So look at the happiness now through technology. People, I guess they do believe there's some happiness, but generally it comes down to the same thing: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Technology is mostly used, something for communication, and mostly it's used so people can play video games where they're generally in a dungeon killing demons. Or in a race car, imagine a race car. And the rest of the time is usually pornography or some kind of ghastly, something even more ghastly than that. Pornography is old-fashioned nowadays. People are getting bored, torturing people, and anything else that's interesting, a little bit unusual. So that's what all the technology has come down to. Now they want to install 5G, and they say that 5G is going to kill people faster than 4G. Faster communication. And goes 10 times faster, and people will go 10 times slower. Their brains will become 10 times slower. As the technology picks up, everyone's consciousness winds down. Therefore, it's a great benediction from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he slows down the whole technological system, hopefully. Or maybe he's not going to, who knows. But at least some awareness that we can actually live without technology. So that's called patience. That we don't need all this mass communication about nonsense in order to live happily in the material world. Previously, if something went wrong in some country, you had to wait 3 or 4 months before the ship arrived and you find out about it. By that time, it was all solved probably. Nowadays, after it happens, even before it happens, you're informed about it. You're living in Slovenia and you're told about what's happening in Papua New Guinea, all the problems that are going on, as if there's not enough problems here for you. You have to worry about whether the Aborigines have enough birds to eat. So this is modern technology. Not only that you hear about it, but you see it. You see the tears coming down the Aborigines' eyes because there's not enough birds, and they're asking you to send your paycheck to save the Aborigines in Papua New Guinea. So modern technology simply put people more in anxiety. They can hardly take care of themselves, and the demand is to take care of the whole world. So patience comes by realizing that we're eternal and that we should hear about the eternal. And then as we hear about the eternal and learn how to apply it within our lives, then we get experience. And by that experience, we get conviction. Conviction means experience. Faith means experience. And what is that experience? What is that faith? That I'm eternal servant of Krishna and that everyone else is also. That I should serve Krishna. And if no one else serves Krishna, then as long as I'm serving Krishna, I'm doing all right. I don't have to worry about what everyone else is doing. I just have to worry about what I'm doing. If I develop the same vision that Krishna has, if I do what Krishna wants me to do, if I'm trying to do something to please Krishna, then whatever else is going on in the whole world, the whole universe, that is not that important. I mean, it is important, but ultimately I'll make advancement in Krishna consciousness and I'll go back to the spiritual world. Now, if I'm going to wait until everyone else goes back to the spiritual world before I decide to go there, well, you'll have to be very patient. It's going to take a long time. Of course, if we're in the mood that we want to be here and help everyone go back, but we should go back also, because otherwise we won't be able to help anyone go back. Unless we actually are in Krishna consciousness, experience the happiness and the ecstasy and the love of Krishna consciousness, then it's all theoretical. And if it's theoretical, well, why will anyone accept it? If we show people a virtual candy bar and ask them to buy it, tell them theoretically it tastes great. And we're handing out virtual candy bars for half the price today because we're being merciful. Then who will buy it? But if we hand out a real candy bar that actually tastes great, then we may be able, and we've tasted it, we're enthusiastic about it, then we might be able to convince others to also accept the gift. So patience, conviction, based upon actual experience, by applying what we patiently heard and applying it with complete knowledge, with complete perspective. And then enthusiasm, that we're actually not only convinced, but we're actually experiencing, we're tasting, and it's ever getting better. So more and more enthusiastic to taste Krishna consciousness. And here it says the center of focus is we have to accept that everyone is Krishna's servant and try to help them become Krishna conscious. And as we're trying to help people become Krishna conscious, as we try to help ourselves become Krishna consciousness, then it'll be revealed to us that we're eternal, that Krishna is God, we are his servant, and how nice it is to be Krishna's servant. Not that I'm this body, and there's no such thing as God, and how nice it will be to gratify my senses. So the same thing is there. I am this body, I only have a little time left. I might as well figure out how to gratify my senses to the maximum and get as much pleasure as I can before I disappear forever. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna. In this verse, Krishna says that sage sees equally, because there is a spirit soul that is same in quality, and somehow it has always been difficult for me to see people equally just based on them being spirit souls, because some spirit souls make good decisions and some spirit souls make bad decisions. So still the responsibility is there. So just because they are spirit souls, is it enough for me to not see somebody with a critical attitude? Like here we have a dog eater, and some people, okay, maybe they were born in unfortunate environment. But some people make a bad decision.
Yeah, we all made a bad decision. That's why we're here. And we're still making some bad decisions. But at least we're making some right ones. But just like if you're playing with toy soldiers, there's a battlefield. And you have the blue soldiers and someone else has the green ones. And when you're in the battlefield, some of your green soldiers or blue soldiers are being killed. So then you feel bad about the other person. Why are you killing my green soldiers? Or why are you killing my blue soldiers? But actually, it's just toy soldiers going on. So the soul is the real person. These bodies are just Krishna's energies formed in a way that makes it appear to be something real. But actually, there's no real substance to it. It's not really, the soul is not really doing anything. Nor is he really entangled. He's transcendental. But he's imagining. And because of that, Krishna is creating an imaginary playground for him, virtual reality. So it's very unfortunate if someone's trying to enjoy a virtual reality when the actual reality is much superior. So we shouldn't be envious of people who are trying to enjoy the virtual reality. We should wake up, realize what the real reality is, and then try to help people get out of their virtual reality, because it's a nightmare.
I'm just wondering, I mean, even I have difficulties, this verse, how to see, even there are many situations that we have to look not just as the soul, but as the body also.
Yeah, of course you have to look at the body.
So how to know, I mean, where is this
We have to think both of them simultaneously. Therefore, it takes assimilation of the knowledge to understand how the soul is always transcendental. Just like if we could actually see what the soul looked at. Like, you saw this little gopi asleep, in a nightmare situation. Imagine that she was this big body she was trapped in. What would you think? You'd think, you're going to wake up, little guy. You try to help them wake up. If we could actually see what everyone looked like, how beautiful they were, then we know what to do. But because we're only seeing from the material point of view, and we're not also seeing from the spiritual point of view, therefore it's confusing how to apply both of them. We can very easily see there was a tiger and I should shoot it, if I could, or run away from it. But if we saw the soul in it, maybe our deliberation wouldn't change, but our mood would change. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was walking the Jharikanda forest, and he stepped on a tiger, and he told the tiger to stand up and chant Hare Krishna. Now, we're not going to do that, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had the potency. But we should understand that the tiger, inside the tiger, there's a soul like we are, but it's just that it's been put into a bewildering situation. So it's most unfortunate. So we can go to the zoo and chant Hare Krishna, or we don't go to the zoo. We try to wake up it's probably the two-legged animals. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could wake up the four-legged ones. We don't have that potency, we should wake up the two-legged ones. So that's what we should try to see that vision. Therefore, we shouldn't, if we try to practically engage in helping others become Krishna conscious, then Krishna will help us realize it gradually. Whereas Prabhupada wrote to me, he said, the more you try to work seriously to bring Lord Krishna's other children back to the spiritual kingdom, then the more he'll bestow all of his blessings upon you. That Krishna is never ungrateful for our efforts to serve him, rest assured. So we just have to try and then leave the rest to Krishna to give us his mercy so that it becomes realized. Then as more it becomes realized, the easier it is to apply. And if it's not so easy, then we have to make some effort, that's all. Study the scriptures, think about it, pray to Krishna, and so then we hope we see sees things more clearly so we can act better. When we act better, then Krishna will give us more mercy. Anything else? Yes.
Sometimes, now 2 days ago, I met a friend and he said, nature is the source. And I said, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that around him everything revolves and he is the origin of the nature's intelligence. And well, I mean, sometimes I say something and I'm always a bit afraid to speak about Krishna, and I think people will penetrate into my phoniness. They will see I don't believe it myself and things like that.
So why talk about things you don't believe?
Because that's our party line, because I have to go back to Krishna. I mean, I believe, but then again, sometimes I don't, but I should...
I'll talk about, according to your realization. Do you believe you're a spiritual being? Is your body changing?
Yeah, I believe more in Krishna than in my spirituality or me being a spiritual being that I
Really?
speak about.
You don't believe you're spiritual? Are you conscious? Are you alive?
Yeah.
Do you think your body's... You hope so. That is going to be when you figure out you're alive, you'll never talk. It's hard to talk to someone who doesn't believe that you're that much conviction we have to have before we have a conversation. Are you sure you exist?
People who suppose differently got into much different...
Well, look at this microphone. Now I'm talking into the microphone. Do you think what would happen if I only started to talk to the microphone? You know, I start telling, well, you know, actually, you look a little strange, but I really... No, we're conscious. The material nature is not conscious. That conviction we should have. So, you know, where's the question? Everything came out of the material nature. It's unconscious. What would come out of the material nature? Take a rock and look at it. Wait for it to evolve. You'd have to be very patient. You know, evolve. It's not going to do anything. So we're conscious. That much conviction. And we've had so many bodies that were unconscious. This body is still unconscious. But we're conscious within it. Anything else? Or at least have some faith in time. I mean, time is changing everything. Who's going to deny, oh, there's no such thing as time, I don't believe it. That's all right. Calm down, boy, it's all right. No, there's no time, that's all right. You're right. You're growing younger every moment. So time's changing everything. So time is supreme in this world. Nothing is not, everything is affected by time. And time is not affected by anything. So time is supreme here. How can anyone...
So we don't have any choice anyway, so why not choosing Krishna?
That's another jump, but anyhow, the point is everyone's under the control of time. You don't accept Krishna, you're going to have to accept time as supreme. You don't bow down, as Prabhupada would say, you don't bow down to Krishna. Now, time of death, you're definitely going to bow down. Okay, thank you very much. Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.